Yo, what is up? Just doing this live. I'm nervous as hell. I thought I would create a content video, I guess, just live, no editing, and just upload it to YouTube for myself. It's a bit of a learning curve. Like, literally, I'm nervous right now, but this is the start. This is what it is. So, yeah, I just want to give you my take on the upcoming Path of Exile 2 0.3.0 expansion, or I guess the first official league, if you put it that way. So to just sum it up, like I did go over it on my live stream in terms of like, you know, the Q&A, the skills, the changes, the no new class, but we did get essentially, I mean, I'd probably call it like a not like an overhaul of the game, but probably more like a, I guess like a multi-layer sort of like, you know, foundation applied. The new content that we got here, Act 4. So that's just going to be astonishing. Like I've done the campaign 20 plus times now. And this is going to be fun. And then that kind of ties into what's happening next, which is, well, when you finish Act 3, you then do Acts 1, 2, and 3 again, which is a common thing for, I guess, the older style of ARPGs out there, you know, coming from Diablo and a Diablo 2 player myself. The way that they designed this upcoming content, the Interlude Act, is kind of unique and interesting how they've implemented, or we'll see how they've implemented and portrayed, that it also gives you the, I guess, the option of choice, right? Like, you know, you don't have to choose to go that specific act and then interlude act, sorry, that one, and then that interlude act. You can sort of just mix and match. It's going to be exciting, bit of freshness when you like start a new character as well. So it keeps it going. And then that kind of rolls into the end game, but about 65 according to the Q&A. So yeah, I mean, look, it's big. This is huge, right? Like, so this is just my take, and I'm doing this live unedited. I'm new to this, so hey, it's going to be hit and miss, but we're just going to learn and then go from there, right? Like, I'm fucking nervous. So anyways, so yeah, 12 new bosses. Wait, is it? Oh, okay. So it's 12 new bosses for Act 4, and then 12 new bosses for the 3 interlude acts. So hell yeah, I'm all about the bosses. I've been playing PoE for 14 plus years. Been on Twitch and stuff for like 8 or something, and this time I'm just about like being on the camera as opposed to behind the camera. And I thought, hey, why not just do it with Path of Exile 2? Huge Path of Exile 2 nerd. So excited to go and deep down into these bosses. So talking about the new Rise of the Abyssal League, we got 4 new bosses, pretty similar to obviously PoE 1's Abyss, but with a, not a fresh coat of paint, but like an enhancement. So it inherits relatively the same system where the cracks spawn in the ground, but this time instead of monsters coming out, I think it's like kind of like wisps, right? If I got it, or like a plague that then goes onto the current monsters that are around. Is that how it works? I'm pretty sure. But then the same overall at the end is where like it cracks open, and then either more mobs come out, and then that spawns the Abyssal Trove, which in this case is the loot, or it opens up the depths to, well, obviously the Abyssal Depths, and then, you know, that's blah, 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 blah. So pretty exciting. They also implemented a bit of Legion, which is the timeless jewel, but then this is more added into the Abyssal content. Items, loot, all that stuff is going to be amazing. But once again, I'm not going to go over that. This is just a quick whatever video as a practice for myself. So if you happen to stumble on it, hell yeah, thank you. Major class rebalance as well. That is probably like my third biggest like thing that I wanted for PoE 2. Because to me, when I was playing, it just felt really missing the mark, and that's why I'm kind of like glad that they didn't release the Druid this season. Oops, screen just went black. Is because it's all good and well to like just keep bringing out classes and classes and classes, but we just had one previously, and you gotta, it's give and take, right? You gotta give a little, take a little. Like it needs, if you just keep giving, it's just going to cause like this cascading effect. And doing a bit of this now just really helps like what the next patch is going for as well. Then they don't have to focus so much further down the line as, you know, things calm. And then they can also get statistics, which will kind of tie into another big change that they've done is removing the limitation on support gems. So buffing the classes, giving them a bit more notables, rebalancing certain things, especially the aspect of Chayula, which I probably will be league starting as. Not sure on the build. I was kind of cooking up like a Mirage Archer / was it Void Illusion sort of dodge build? That was kind of cooking in my head, especially with the changes to Darkness and was it Chaos or Leech or something? Or something like that. So it looks pretty, I think that might cook, or I'm just cooked. Either way, we're going to try it out. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it's good that they did this. And then obviously, like I just said before, the removal of the multiple support gems. So that's just going to open up a whole plethora of builds, and just let the brain cook, right? And I kind of want to touch on trade, but like everyone's touching on trade. And I mean, look, my summary of it, and they've obviously done it in the Q&A as well, is that I think it's fantastic. It's what the game needed, but you know, I'm more of a solo self-found player. But when I was playing Diablo and Diablo 2, when I guess early stages of PoE, like I really enjoyed the trading, the social aspect of it. And this kind of like actually enhances and implement that more, especially as well as like involving people. Things like the hideout, right? Obviously, because when you make the trade with the trade system that's coming in is, I believe the people buying the item get teleported to your hideout. But like if your item is in there and then multiple people buy it, they all teleport, but it's the first person who buys it. But either way, it gives like a fun interaction to your hideout. So you can make some cool shit. I'm thinking about getting the new hideout from the upcoming supporter pack. This is not a plug. And doing some sort of like fun arena or something for the trade, you know, just make it like a little bit more kind of just different, right? So that might be a little fun design stream. Actually, I might do that. Yeah, that's an idea. Hell yeah. Just gave myself an idea. This is a win. I'm actually getting less nervous. And obviously, yeah, sprinting. You know, sprinting is a big one. I'll just touch base on this. I'm glad that they didn't do too much to changing the game scale, but they compromised in a way of giving players mobility to traverse it. And not in the way that I don't personally like that they did in Path of Exile 1, which was skills like Flame Dash, Frostblink, and how excessively quick and easy it is for them to just be used over and over and over and cooled down and whatever, because then it takes away from the actual zones and the maps and stuff, whereas what they're doing with sprinting is it's on by default, I believe. But I think they said when you hold down dodge, you go into a sprint. So you'll traverse slightly faster than the monsters, but if you get hit, then obviously you fall over, which is kind of fair. So then that kind of makes it a bit more of like a pre-engagement, maybe a disengagement, but then just a traversal way to go through the large act, say, for example, Act 3, right? Because a lot of the content that they're releasing now, and I think going forward is, you know, they're quite forward-thinking in systems, right? And this just kind of allows that further flexibility going forward. And it's a band. It's not actually. I think it is towards a permanent solution for both, sort of like people that want this insane mobility but don't also want the same mobility. Like people want two variants of a game. Like it's inevitable. Like everyone has to have an opposite to something, right? And this kind of like ties that bridge. This is the bridge between it. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be spicy. Is there anything else that I wanted to quickly talk about? Because I'm just like waffling on. Actually, the crafting changes. I mean, look, everyone's going to be deep diving into that. But for me, as like a person that's been going into Path of Exile 2 not so much for the end game, just been going through the campaign a lot with different characters, just random builds, seeing what works. I've done a few warriors. There's like a shield build, and like monks and rangers and stuff like that. And one thing that I always came across was crafting in a way felt kind of missing, but I get what they're trying to do is not overwhelm it and introduce it slowly. And they kind of hit the mark on essences, and I was also, you know, kind of questioning this as well, is like, you find an essence mob, you kill the essence mob, you get the essence, and then you go to craft and it's just garbage, or it's 10 levels before what you need it to be, or something like that. But the way that they've changed now is to act like regals and chaos orbs, and then sort of add on to that item with essence related sort of changes. And I think that's great. It's going to kind of give you, instead of like a curve, it's just kind of go a bit more like that. So I'm curious to see how the leveling experience is going. Obviously it's going to be completely, you know, different now that there's no crawl difficulty. So yeah, anyway, so this is just a video. I thought I would just do my, I guess, first YouTube video, unedited. This is just live. I didn't want to go into editing just yet because I want to get used to this. And then from there, we'll start doing editing. And it's just one of those like slow improvement things, right? Like I just don't want to go like ham off the bat until I feel comfortable. And yeah, anyways, this is just like more of a personal thing. So, hey, if anyone watches it, thanks for just listening to my ramblings about Path of Exile 2 upcoming content. And look, just face your fears, right? Like I'm so nervous doing this, and I've been constantly fighting myself, and to get better is just by doing. So me just doing this live, unedited, and I'm going to force myself to upload this, is just a step to doing it better in a way that I want to do it, but then the way that's also enjoyable for the people that want to watch it, essentially. And who knows where we go from here. So, peace.